Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Sam is still in meetings, and it may be snowy and cold outside, but it's hot in here. My guest co-host Scott Craigie has the rundown. Scott?
Former county manager of Washoe County and former city of Sparks city manager John MacIntyre is back. He's taken on the toughest challenge he's ever had. He's got all of the major hotspots in downtown Reno, from the retrack project to the event center to you name it, about 10 of them. He's going to be here to talk about his new challenge. Also, Alan Glover is here, who is the clerk recorder for Carson City. He's here to give the perspective of the local governments on the controversial decision by the Secretary of State yesterday. It's going to be a hot show.
And on the pundit panel to play Fact or Fiction, we have Don Gibbons, Daryl, Capurro, and Paul Enos. It's all coming up next on the new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8, lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1, have some fun, lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp, have a sip, try the pool, play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino, lucky you. Yeah!
In business, the key to success is not the quantity of your clients, it's the quality of your clients. Almost all companies will tell you they want more sales, but what they really need are quality customers who pay their bills on time. With Employer Link's client vendor screening program, we provide comprehensive reports regarding the financial performance of your corporate prospects, customers, and vendors. Build your business with great clients and vendors. Call Employer Links today at 883-3733.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Ande Engleman.
Yesterday, you heard Dean Heller say that he had chosen Sequoia for the election machines. Today, we talked to Alan Glover. He's clerk of Carson City, but he's also president of the Nevada Association of Clerks. Alan, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, especially coming over the hill in the snow. You saw the announcement yesterday by the Secretary of State. You participated in the discussions with him, I know, on many levels. Bottom line, how does the local government side of this issue view the decision?
We're, I think, somewhat disappointed, but we knew that he would choose Sequoia Pacific. We've known that for some months now.
And specifically, why disappointed?
The other vendors are a little more cutting edge, newer technology in there. Sequoia, even though it's a very reputable company, their equipment is very heavy, it's very old, and we're going to have to use this equipment for the next 10 years probably, and we wanted cutting edge technology.
Yeah, but Alan Diebold, I mean, the Gaming Control Board looked at the Diebold machines and said they weren't secure, no matter how cutting edge they may be.
We haven't seen the Gaming Control Board report on there. I understand that they looked at the other analyses that were done around the country, and those were not in an election setting at all. They were where you could actually hook up a laptop computer to them and get in. any voting system that we get, or with the Sequoia both in Diebold, are truly standalone systems. And as clerks, we don't think that there's really a way to tap into those on election day.
But that's been proven. I mean, there's been articles in the New York Times. I mean, Diebold is insecure as a system, and that's pretty much acknowledged across the United States.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, all those arguments are probably irrelevant because we are going to go with Sequoia systems.
Some of the county officials have indicated some disappointment that the decision was made for the 2004 election. We had another 2 years we could have waited.
Right.
Generally, what is that perspective? What are the problems that they're looking at?
Their timing. It takes over a year to put an election together, and they're very concerned that it's going to take longer to get the equipment in, get trained, train our staffs, train election workers, get the public used to them. And while they're doing all of that, do their normal election functions that take quite a bit of time, plus only Washoe and Clark County have full-time election departments. The rest of the state are, in my case, I'm the clerk recorder. Most of them are clerk treasurers, so they have their treasurer functions to do. They have courts to run. And the more time we can get to plan out any election, the better off we are.
Just on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being severe, 5 being it's problematic, where are the smaller county officials on how difficult a decision this is for them? Are they real upset, or
no?
Where on that scale?
No, they're probably at a 4, I guess. They're not terribly upset. A lot of them would have gone with Sequoia if given the choice anyway. And so I think they want to work, and they'll use any equipment that we get.
Yeah, I think Dean said in some sort of election of the clerks or something that I guess 12 of them voted for the Sequoia machine.
That was a preliminary vote that we took on that, and after some other discussions with about election equipment and so forth, quite a few others decided if they were given a choice, they probably would go with Diebold.
There must be some relief on the local government level with these election officials that there is going to be a paper trail, so that when there has to be some recount, there's the ability to go back and actually look at what each voter actually did on that ballot.
Mass confusion on this issue. The touchscreen voting systems all produce a paper ballot. Clark County has a warehouse full of these ballots to prove it. They actually print every ballot out. And so I think a lot of people misunderstood or didn't understand that. They thought there was never any paper trail. The new technology that's come out with this new view your ballot goes in, that is really in development. It has not gone through the Wiley labs, nor has it been certified in any state.
It's my understanding, though, that this technology that's been purchased has that capability, or will have that capability.
It will have that,
for the 2006 election, not for the 2004.
No, Clark County does not have to have it for 2004, but every other county appears that we will have to have it for the 2004. So we will have to see. Nobody really knows a lot about how that works, except that there's 2 giant rolls of paper, and you view it on that, then it goes on to the other roll of paper.
Right. Yeah, the person can never touch it.
No, they cannot, and they don't get anything to go drop in a ballot box.
Right.
And it appears that the way the Secretary of State's office is talking, and other election officials, is that you will only use that in case of a recount. You will continue to produce election night results electronically.
Okay, we're almost out of time. One last question. The other thing that Dean did yesterday was he decertified the punch ballots, which you used to be a big booster of.
I've always kind of liked them, but again,
the hanging chads.
but that's an issue that again has gone away. Punch cards are not acceptable to anyone any longer. They were very cost efficient, and frankly, in our county, they were very accurate. In the Ensign Reed recall or recount election, there was Ensign picked up 1 vote and Reed picked up 1 vote after hand counting all the ballots. But that's a gone issue. We're going to punch cards.
We're out of time. We've got to move on. Okay, we could talk about this for all morning long.
Day.
Yes, but coming up next, we're going to talk to John MacIntyre. Remember him?
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise.
Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
I ordered this beef broccoli here at Harris Buffet in Reno, and it was here in less than 60 seconds. What's up with that, Dave?
Sam, that's one of 20 dishes that we guarantee fast, guarantee fresh, made to order 7 days a week at Harris Reno's Buffet.
And I understand that just for this month, a 2-for-1 special just by showing your Nevada ID.
That's correct. We want to invite all of our Nevada residents to come down and experience this great buffet. We guarantee you a fresh, quality meal.
It's fast, it's delicious, and it's 2-for-1 at Harris Buffet.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Ande Engleman.
It's one thing Mayor Bob Cashel knows, it's to keep the public happy. And one way you do that is providing checks and balances on your major projects to be certain they don't go over budget or that they're not poorly done. Towards that end, they hired former county manager John MacIntyre, and he joins us this morning. John, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Andy.
Explain briefly now, you're on contract, you're a consultant, but your job is?
Well, my job is to work with city staff, stakeholders, contractors, council, city management in terms of the overall management coordination of the major projects in the downtown area.
And you ensure that the contracts are fulfilled. Is that part of it?
Well, yes, I do look at those kinds of issues, and I particularly look at scheduling issues and budget issues. You know, one of the things that we want to make sure is that during our major special events that we have in the downtown area, that we don't have conflicts going on with the project such that you know, the events are disrupted or interrupted or whatever. So we want to make sure that the projects go smoothly, but we also want to make sure that we can maintain the integrity of our special events.
Well, you're going to be the point man on some of the most controversial projects going on downtown. You got the retrack project, for example. But one of the big questions that people have is, you know, how many businesses are going to suffer? How many businesses may actually go out of business? Can the Phoenix survive and some of the hotels down there with all of that construction, a 2.5-mile long, 33-foot deep, I think, bearing of the tracks? How much risk is there for downtown going through this transition process?
Actually, it has turned out to be a lot less than what I might have imagined before I got involved with the projects. There are a number of projects that, or a number of properties, I should say, that are involved with the shoe fly, which is a railroad term for detour.
Right.
It's the detour track that has to be built before they can actually construct the main trench. And the shoe fly right-of-way takes it down through an area just south of the existing right-of-way in the Keystone area, and then down through the Douglas Alley, and then it shifts up into Commercial Row, extends through Commercial Row past Fitzgerald's and past the Golden Phoenix and past Harrah's, and then continues on past the old freight station, and then on down. There were a number of businesses that were in that area that we had to either relocate or or that we had to take care of in terms of getting the right of way and getting the right of way through their properties and so forth. But the actual number of businesses that have gone out of business is really very, very small. I would put it at this point in time probably less than a half dozen, if that.
Tough time for the hotels, though, just because of what's going on in California, Indian gaming. Of course, some of these facilities have been built right across the border, and to have downtown torn up. Are there going to be some special activities to try and keep business going there while we're doing this? I mean, there's got to be something in order to protect the business corridor there.
There's a constant process going on of interaction between the city, the major properties, and Granite Construction. The phase that we are in on the project right now, the building of the shoe fly, has involved the building of crossing panels in the streets. And when those crossing panels are built, the streets are shut down. We have worked very closely and well in advance with the major properties to make sure that they knew what the traffic mitigation plan was going to be when those streets were going to be shut down. We made sure that the streets were not going to be shut down during major events that were occurring at that time. And so a lot of work, a lot of interaction, a lot of communication is going on a constant basis to work with them. Granite Construction has been really good in terms of working with the major properties, getting their properties identified, getting the detour routes identified so they're easily seen.
Excuse me, we're running low on time, and I know one of the things that a lot of the people are concerned about is the budget. You're going to keep this project from going over budget if you can help it?
Well, I will do what I can to make sure that that is not an end result. But the project is on schedule, and it is at or under budget at the present time.
Oh, that is great.
We have no reason to believe that it won't finish that way.
Well, I think that's absolutely super. We're out of time. Thank you for being with us so much,
and
John.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with the Pundit panel to play Scott's new game, Fact or Fiction.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Your home is an expression of all things comforting and familiar. For custom storage, you can count on California Closets to provide quality, value, and design integrity. The process is easy, combining your personal style with our organizing expertise. We care about what matters most to you, making your home functional and beautiful. California Closets, simplifying home and life since 1978. Call today for your complimentary design consultation.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Ande Engleman.
And here we are with the Pundit panel, Daryl Capurro, Don Gibbons, and Paul Enos. Nice to see you again. Let me start right off the bat by asking you, what did you think of Dean Heller's announcement yesterday on the election machines, and do you think it's going to hurt him or help him? Just jump in here, guys.
I thought that he had given a good explanation of why and a justification for it. Frankly, I think any machine they would have picked, there would have been concerns about, but I thought Dean handled it real well.
No, I agree with that, and I'm glad that they're going to do a printout of the votes, and so we have some way to reconcile if there's a problem.
I agree. I think that choosing a machine based on its security is probably the way to go, and having the gaming control board figure out which machine was going to be secure, or the most secure, was an ingenious move.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clever too.
One of the things that we just learned is that it's possible that using these machines might actually take longer to cast your ballot. If that proves, one of the things about doing this, I mentioned this yesterday, but I'd like to get your reactions. I think Dean Heller did a great job selling it. I think he did a great job going through the process, but boy, there's heavy risk here. I mean, for a guy that is ambitious and who has a great record to run on for a higher office, this is a risky move.
Well, I think it is, particularly since it wasn't necessary for this election cycle, and that there is a lot of work up front that needs to be done, and I think everybody has some concerns about that.
Well, they said in Clark County the only way they pull it off is because 44% of them do early voting, and what they're going to have, whereas 15% do early voting in Washoe County. Clearly, Washoe is going to have to be educated to get out there and vote early, because it might take you a little longer the first time you use these machines to get used to them. So, and then probably the same is true for all the rural counties too. I know Carson does a lot of early voting.
That's surprising. I didn't realize that Clark County had that heavy of an early vote.
Well, they place them at shopping malls, and unfortunately here, Meadowood Mall won't allow you to put any voting machines there. Legislature may have to take a look at private property where the public is involved and do something about that.
But they do want a highway interchange. I don't know how that works exactly.
Okay. Excuse me, but before we get to your game, Scott, you had an apology you wanted to make to
Well,
Daryl
actually, I was going to let Daryl Capurro have a little fun at my expense here. When we were on here a couple of days ago, actually a couple of weeks ago, talking about the public employees, and I really believe that both the forest guys and the National Guard guys would be affected by that, but they're not, and you were right. And I got to say, before we went on, you said, no, those guys aren't in that system.
Well, you don't need to apologize. It's a tough issue, Scott, as we've talked about, to decide. I have a real problem with the local governmental agencies and the school districts and others who have employed people and have clearly admitted that they've employed them, knowing that they're essentially carrying the water for those agencies. I think that's wrong. I think the public deserves better than that.
Well, for most people, I don't think that most public employees see their job as carrying that water. The interesting thing, though, is that Wendell Williams has said in the hearing before the city council that I was told by my superiors that when I was working on city bills as a legislator, I was on the clock and I was to be paid.
And we are talking about Las Vegas. And
well, it is Las Vegas.
Right.
That's just, I don't know if that's true or not. If it's true, then there definitely needs to be an investigation, because that's bribery, and you shouldn't have that kind of stuff going on in any area of government. And
that's why everybody that worked with him is saying it isn't true.
Well, Wendell Williams has kind of had this scorched earth policy where it's pointing a flamethrower at everything and just kind of letting it burn. So
and take everybody, all his former friends and everybody else along with him.
And actually, Virginia Valentine, who was the city manager at that time, said clearly that was never part of it. And I've known her for a very long period of time. She also is a truthful person. It's hard to know which person is correct there and which is not. But
all right, Scott, you want to explain your game?
Yeah, I will explain the game. We've done this a couple of times. This is kind of something new. A little lightning rod game. It's fact or fiction. I'll read a statement as if it's fact, and one of you declare fact or fiction, and Paul lets you go first on the first one. Governor Gwynn will keep his commitment to balance the budget next session without any new taxes. Fact or fiction?
I think Governor Gwynn will keep that commitment, but I'm not so sure about some of the legislators introducing new taxes. So
you call this fact?
I would call this fact.
Anyone else? Where are you, Daryl?
I think the governor's going to hold strong and no new taxes.
Daryl?
Well, I think given the reaction that he got because of this last session, that's fact. But again, I would agree with Paul. Others are going to bring it up. I understand that the gross receipts tax may also be on the table, and again, business is absolutely opposed to that.
Well, and I'll let you open on the next one. That's a good lead-in. Nevada's gamers will be back in 2005 pushing a gross receipts tax. Fact or fiction, Daryl?
I believe that's fact.
And the reaction will be
the same as it was this last time. If they want to have a scorched earth policy in that situation, like they did this last time, they insisted on it all the way through two special sessions, which was the wrong thing to do, I think. And if they do it again, I guess we'll have 2 special sessions again.
Actually, I heard the Nevada Resort Association wasn't going to go for a grocery
I believe
tax.
it's fiction. I just don't think they're going to go after another tax, and they'll just live with the one. Maybe it's not the one they wanted.
That the MGM and a few other of the big casinos may.
I believe it's fact. I mean, they have their so-called New World Order. And, you know, you walked around the legislature in the waning days, and they had the posters, ask me about the MGM plan. And, you know, there is a drive out there to lessen the tax burden on the gaming industry. They want it down to 15%, and they want the businesses to make up the rest of it.
Well, and heading into the next cycle, which will be statewide elections, that would be quite a thing. Here's another one. Republicans will capture the Assembly majority next fall. Fact or fiction? Dawn?
Fact. Absolutely a fact, because people are sick and tired of the way the legislature operated, and I think there's going to be a whole
Only
new
twice in 20 years they've captured. Daryl, where do you land on that?
I would say it's also fact. I think the elements are there for that to take place.
All right, real quick response because we're just about out of time.
Okay, last one. Landslide. Harry Reid will actually get a landslide victory this year.
Everybody say it all together.
Fiction.
Fiction.
Fact.
Fact. Okay. We're out of time. That's it.
Harry's never had it.
That's why we think he got endorsed by the...
It's America's largest historical district, and it's fun for the entire family. Virginia City is where the West comes alive every day, from train rides to gunslingers. Your gang can explore mines and interesting museums, visit historic saloons, and do some great shopping. Virginia City is the ultimate in family entertainment, and it's very affordable. Come up and stay overnight in our hotels, motels, and RV park. Virginia City, the Wild West at its best. I ordered this beef broccoli here at Harris Buffet in Reno, and it was here in less than 60 seconds. What's up with that, Dave?
Sam, that's one of 20 dishes that we guarantee fast, guarantee fresh, made to order 7 days a week at Harris Reno's Buffet.
And I understand that just for this month, a 2-for-1 special just by showing your Nevada ID.
That's correct. We want to invite all of our Nevada residents to come down and experience this great buffet. We guarantee you a fresh, quality meal.
It's fast, it's delicious, and it's 2-for-1 at Harris Buffet.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch. Atlantis.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
So define a Harry Reid landslide for me.
Anything over 500 votes is a Harry Reid landslide.
Last night, Sam called me and said it was going to be cloudy this morning. Once again, we're shoveling cloudy. Monday, be with us. Scott, thank you for being here today. And on Monday, Dick Damick will co-host with me, and we'll be up to our eyes in water. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can catch all the week's shows on KOH, 780 a.m. Sunday mornings from 9 to 11. Thank you.